Hey everyone, welcome to the fourth episode of the Journey Hub. We are in the second season, and in total, we are today completing 10 episodes of the Journey Hub. And today we have a special guest. She has 13 plus years of experience in the media and production house. She is an alumni of Humber. Pardon me if I am being biased there. And she brings, and she's currently the sales head at Elba Entertainment Incorporation in Toronto, Canada. And I'll give the stage to her to introduce her. Welcome to the show, Anna.
Thank you, Shriyesh, and thank you, Darnia. Hope I'm pronouncing your names right. um,
That's okay.
yeah, so I'm the director of sales for Alibi Content, and I've been a TV producer by trade. So, gosh, I guess it's about 15 years now. I'm aging myself, but yeah, I've been a TV producer for many years in talent and creative producing. So, writing scripts, writing TV show ideas, pitching those ideas, finding some really cool talent and Canadians to make shows about. I worked on The Amazing Race Canada for a number of years, so I was casting the incredible Canadians we see on that show. And now I do branded storytelling. So I'm taking that expertise and moving it into the branded world and turning brands into storytellers and having them develop their own kind of mini digital shows. So that's me.
That's quite awesome. Just to add on, I also wanted to tell our audience that Anna is the vice president at the women's panel. She hosts her own the women leadership groups, and she's a moderator there. So just kind of a thing for our audience out there.
Yeah, that's right. We do an amazing monthly Zoom panel with really fantastic female entrepreneurs. So thewomanspanel.com, go check it out. We're always looking for new panelists for that as well.
Okay, over to you, Darina.
So thank you so much for sharing a little bit about yourself, and it just sounds impressive, and we are very excited to hear even more about your experience today. So let me start by asking you first question, and then we will move forward with our other questions in our show. So the first thing, as a student myself, just in April I graduated from Seneca College. I know how difficult it is to find a job, to start a new career, especially if you did not get to the industry yet, right? And after some time, we all have the situations when we think that I wish I knew this, I wish I had this experience. So what you wish you had known when you started your career?
Yeah, I think for me, really, it was listening to my gut and listening to my intuition a little bit more. And I know how hard that can be when you're first starting out. You just want to get that job and, work your way up the ranks. But especially in the film and television world, if you don't feel good about a project or you don't feel good about the job that you're taking, it can end up with some big mistakes and with some, just not being happy where you are. It's also important to advocate for yourself. If someone's asking you to do something you don't feel comfortable with, or defies your value system, you have to have that confidence just to put your foot down. And that's something that I learned over the years on some of the bigger shows that I've worked on. And it's hard at first, and you have to develop that confidence, but it's just so important to be authentic to yourself and really trust your value system, especially in this day and age. And I'm talking coming from reality and lifestyle television, so you can imagine, if you don't feel good about what you're doing, you can be exploiting people, right? So you got to be careful.
Cannot agree with you talking about the confidence in today's world. If you don't have the confidence, I so this other day I was talking with Sarah. She's the CSO at Mindshare, and she told me that you need to have that confidence to ask people. People don't ask in this current era, and that's a big problem. And in the Canadian advertising industry, or rather I should say the media industry, people do not ask. And so it's a kind of thing that people develop while they're studying or they're in the initial phase of their careers. And That's the thing. So moving on to the second question, you have worked for so many years and you have worked along your career. So what's that most important thing that you have learned in your career, and what was your career before that, and what was it after learning that particular thing?
I'll tell you, I'm going to be very honest with you with this question, and I'm sure a lot of people can relate, but would never say this. It was getting over my ego. So, in TV, and especially when you first start, you really want to be the best. You want to do everything yourself. You want to get all the credit, and you don't want anyone else to help you out. Especially in television, when everybody wants to be a TV producer, everybody wants that job. But I've found, and that's how you make mistakes, in fact, is if you don't let anyone help you. And then as you move up in more of a managerial role, if you don't hire people who are fantastic to be under you as your subordinates, then that doesn't help either, And I've found that I've worked with managers who didn't quite understand that, who wanted all the credit and didn't want to hire anyone that they thought might threaten them. And I've been that person too in my career. And when I did that sort of thing, it just made for bad television or more mistakes or not creating great products. And now I've realized that, as a manager, I have weaknesses and I need to hire people that have those strengths that I don't have, and vice versa, and work as a team and really be a cheerleader for my team and thank them and celebrate their successes. And now that I've done that, I'm really in such a better place where I can actually breathe and actually have more time to myself. And not only that, working as a team, my products look better, my products come out better. I'm championing my team. It's all about working together versus, it being me, and I. And getting over that ego, especially in the television industry, was something that was hard to learn. And I made a lot of mistakes along the way, but now I understand how important it is. Yeah.
And that's actually true, because a lot of people don't really admit that, but that's how it feels. And we actually spoke to Bill Dorn last week, the CEO of Anamorphic, and he was telling us too about the importance of this relationship with employees, being a leader, not being just a manager or being selfish sometimes. Even we don't really realize, but sometimes you see some selfishness coming from people when they want to have everything done by yourself. And I was like that too, and I'm still sometimes like that. And I know for every recent graduate and for every person who is just starting a career, it's difficult when sometimes people are indicating your mistakes, and there is like two ways for you to overcome this. I think this is the way to learn, or to the way to get offended and being angry at your boss and quit a job. But this is just the matter of understanding, and I think pursuing how you want to be in your career one day. And if you're a manager, how will you be a leader for your people, so you will be just a good example for them in the future.
I can't agree with you more. Just how important it is to thank your employers when they do a good job, your subordinates when they do a good job, especially in this industry. It's a thankless industry, and it just feels so good. I know I felt great when my managers would thank me and, say job well done. And so that's something that it's very important for me to do the same for my employees.
Yes, I was just reading an article about how important, because people don't leave bad companies, they will leave like bad bosses and bad managers usually. And it's important to just be part of one team. And I can't agree with you more too, that on that managers, when they actually thanking you for things that you're doing, you feel appreciated and you want to do more, you want to contribute more, and you just want to help this.
I think so.
Success.
Oh, she's
Yeah,
back.
so let's move.
You just
Did I
froze
freeze?
there.
Oh.
No problem. That's not a problem. Okay.
Okay, so let's be back to our questions. So I know there's a lot of messages out there, and we see a lot of advertising every day. Like you just scroll through Instagram feed and you see a lot of different ads, and you go outside, you see billboards, and you go to the mall and you see everyone is advertising for Black Friday. but usually some messages are missing, and sometimes we feel like there was just something else over there. So if you had a chance to put a content on the billboard, just anything,
I think she wants me to
message you
answer
would
what would it be.
give to people.
Yeah.
Yes.
So my billboard would say, be present. And I would want my billboard to be transparent so that you could see through it out to the world, because we're missing a lot of that. You know, we're so caught up in the mistakes I made yesterday at work and the decisions I have to make tomorrow that we really miss the present moment, and looking around and kind of seeing life. And this is personal, it's professional, it's everything. And you know, I'll get a little bit yogi on you because I've found I'm a big meditator, and gotten into kind of Buddhism and Hinduism of late. So it's actually really helped me professionally as well, just to be able to take a breath and take a moment, you know, before making a decision at work, you know, before writing that frustrated email, take a beat, you know, think about what you're saying, you know, close your eyes and breathe and just realize that everything is impermanent. Everything is going to change. If this is the worst day of your life, in 24 hours, you get to start all over again. And that, you know, none of us are brain surgeons. Well, I don't know if anyone you've interviewed as yet, but anyone here, none of us here are brain surgeons. So we're not worried about killing someone in our jobs. So just, you know, being present, taking a breath, self-love, whatever that means to you, finding things that you're passionate about. It's just going to make, you know, your professional life and your personal life so much happier.
You know, it's so important that in today's era, especially with the lockdown and COVID going on, how important is it to meditate and in order to give yourself the time. So this last week, so I and Jarina work, you know, in a similar company. She works there part time and she works at an agency for full time. And she was like, you know, I see her, she's always exhausted with the work. And I used to tell her, you know, gives yourself the time because I personally learn every time whenever I'm with a guest speaker because the things that they tell me, and you learn every day with someone for sure. But in particular, the thing that you told, most people say them, but they don't implement that in their own personal life, or they don't know, you know, they could tell anyone, but how will that affect, they don't know. And since you have done it, you have, you know, recently started, or, you know, you have put that in effort. Like, for example, you just said that before writing that frustrated email, that mentions everything. You know, I couldn't agree more that being in that situations, how frustrated a person could be in the current, with the current pandemic and with the current situations.
Oh, I've gotten myself into so much trouble in not taking a minute to think before I write that frustrated email. I'm sure many of us have. Learn from those mistakes.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that, you know, uh, with such things going on, people have that mindset. People don't know, they want to go out but they can't, and that's the reason I personally feel so.
Yeah, for sure.
So moving on to our next question, not deviating with that topic. Uh, you know, getting on to the question of an alumni connect here, of being a Humber. So since you studied, you know, film and television production program at Humber, you graduated from there. So in case if that wasn't the thing in that moment, let's say you haven't thought, yeah, what is it, that thing or is it not that thing? And so what's that different program that you would have chosen if you haven't chosen that film and media production, television production?
I would totally be a hard-hitting investigative journalist. That's an easy one. So I'm a published writer. Articles and a short story, nothing like a novel or anything. So I came to Humber with a creative writing degree. And luckily I've been able to utilize that in my TV career. So I'm very lucky to be able to use my passion in what I am doing. But I always wanted to go into journalism. But I was always a social butterfly and connecting with people. That's why I'm a TV developer. I was not so much an academic, so I did not get into all of the journalism courses that you needed to get into to go down that route. But I love true crime. I go down rabbit holes on Reddit and such and such. So I even tried to get a job at the Fifth Estate, thinking that my TV production background would be enough. But they said, no, 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 honey, you need to get a certificate at Ryerson or such in journalism. So, but yeah, I would have loved to kind of be on the front lines and do journalism.
Very
Yeah, so just because we don't have probably enough time, just wanted to give a quick comment on that, I think that I always say that everything that was done for the best. And probably yes, like we started today, sometimes you say, I wish I've done something else. But usually what happens is when something actually happens, you feel grateful for what you have. And you know that if I would do something else, maybe that will go wrong, and you never know. But that sounds like something exciting that you could have, but I'm sure that what you're at right now, you're happy with.
And I've tried to develop some true crime shows. So it's kind of like I'm doing the same thing.
Oh,
Almost.
that's good. That's really good.
And okay, let's move to our almost last question. So COVID-19 question. So with everything that's going on right now in the world, how does you see COVID-19 further impacting brands, and how is Alibi Entertainment coping with it right now?
So I am hopeful with, the conversations that we're having with our clients, our brand clients, that we're almost over this hump now. I think a lot of the brands got scared and worried and pulled their budgets back in the summertime. And then that was all about doing very small kind of activations or small social media videos on, thanking the frontline workers and being very focused about COVID. But I think now with some, very hopeful conversations, that brands are now understanding that, okay, consumers are really political right now. They're really value focused right now. They're very ethos focused right now. So the brands really need to be about something. It's not just about selling a product, right, anymore. It's about, what is your brand identity? What is your awareness in the market? How do people see your company? Because consumers are incredibly disloyal, right? If you don't connect emotionally and care about the things that your consumers care about, they're going to buy their soap from another brand. They're going to buy their soap from Dove, because Dove does such incredible programming about paternity care and about the LGBTQ community. So entertaining, we've got captive audiences. So, we're having some really good conversations about storytelling for 2021, right? We've got these great vaccines, fingers crossed, that are going to come out. So hopefully we'll be back on track, and we can get brands to actually do some storytelling and do some TV series and digital series, which is what I believe is the future, which is why Alibi content exists. So I think we're over the hump. We're having some promising conversations that are showing us that we're over the hump. And I think the good that's coming out of it is that brands are realizing that it's more than just selling a product on a commercial now. The reality is it's about caring about what your consumers care about: the planet, diversity, inclusivity, politics, gender parity, all those things.
Yes, and actually,
Yeah,
even sorry,
no problem.
to interrupt you.
Yeah.
And I would actually agree, even on social, and I do social media every day. I see that companies and brands are switching from just hard selling of their product with like call to action in every post and just promoting their like services and products. They're switching to this building connections with their community, to this establishing emotional connection with people, and showing them the value that they're bringing in by their product, and value just what they value. They showing this to community and showing it to people. So they just want to tell community that that's what we care about, and we care about you, and that's not about selling only anymore. And I think this is one of the good things that COVID-19 brought to us, and hopefully it will lead only to the best.
Yeah, completely agree.
The only thing I want to add on here is, I think so. COVID-19, if it has done something good for us, it has brought the best from for the media houses, from the persons who are there in the media productions, who are there as account directors, as account managers. It have brought, it has made people to think creative,
Mhm.
and irrespective of the fact that in which kind of media house they are. Talk,
Yeah.
talking about the media houses, the production, and the television industry. So let us jump on to our last question before we let Anna go for her tea and dinner. So, since you have graduated from Humber, and I've said that fourth time, I know that. Don't mind me, please.
I loved my time at Humber. It was a fantastic time.
So, if not right now, if someone wanna, go and do the film and television production program there at Humber, so what's that one advice that you wanna give? The first thing is that, and with a young marketeer, is irrespective of the fact that they're coming from which media in background, let's say advertising marketing or in marketing in general or digital marketing. So for the all the young marketers out there, and for the young all the young grads who let's say the class of 2020 who is graduating, what's the advice that you want to give? So two different advices, I would think so.
Yeah, I think, just for someone new starting out and coming out of school, and I think Humber was great at this, going into college was interpersonal skills, and talking to everyone. That was huge for me, in television. It wasn't about, going to back to university or, doing that. It was getting out there, talking to my teachers at Humber who were actually working in the industry, and really connecting with people and getting jobs, and being chatty and being social. I mean, I think that's really what one of my strengths has been, especially in TV development, is connecting with people, and keeping those connections strong, keeping relationships going. So then when that job does open, those people will think of you for it. And it's exhausting, I know, when you talk to the introverts, but it's really important to have connections and to stay connected and go to events. I mean, it's tricky right now, but go to virtual events, get involved with the women's panel, get involved with your podcast, really get out there and make sure people know that you're there and you're on their radar. In the marketing world, I mean, I'm a TV producer, so it's trickier for me. I don't actually know a ton from background in advertising. I've learned that as a TV producer in the past 3 years, but I think tech is actually so important now going forward. And that's something that, I'm a little bit of an older generation, so I don't necessarily have to know all the tech, but anyone I hire does. So technology, being able to get into these virtual events, being able to set up virtual events, being able to work with really interesting, innovative companies that are coming out, maybe augmented reality, VR. And like you said, Shreyesh, thinking outside of the box, coming up with creative ideas that are different, and then using that kind of interconnected interpersonal skills again to pitch those ideas to people who will listen, and not being scared to take that entry level job. I mean, I feel like that's been lost on some of the new generation, especially in film and TV. People want to be a producer or a director right away. Well, I had to run around and fetch people coffee in the rain on independent films for a long time before I got there. So, and it was so important, and I learned so much, and I was thankful for it. And I always did it with a smile on my face. And then I made those contacts. And when I had an idea, those people then listened to me, So it's about staying positive, taking those entry level jobs, and creating a network of people that you can go to with your ideas and asking for help.
Verena?
And this is very important. And I think, am I froze again? Am I back?
You
No, you're
first.
what? I don't really know. Okay. So no, just
So I'm
To
like,
say that this
Jarina,
is very important.
are you
Not,
there?
uh, am I? Okay, okay. I'm sorry. Okay, so I'm saying that it's very important not only for students, I think, and new grads to have their network, and maybe, and I advise every student too that you should start now. There is no such thing as Mondays. Let's start working out on Monday, or let's start learning things on Monday. No, you need to start today. You need to start building this community, because this is, you're doing this not for the sake of getting a job, I don't know, right away. You're getting it for the sake of knowledge and learning from the industry professionals, and just having people around you who are interested in the same topic you're interested in, and something that you can bring value to them and they can give value to you in the same. So I totally agree with you on that. And I think we all know how important to build this community, especially right now. And yes, as you mentioned, Shresh, getting creative, it's important too. And especially with networking sometimes, because there's a lot of people trying to network and build community out there. And you need to be purposeful with what you're doing and connect with people, not just because you need something from them, but change your mindset and connect with people for building relationship with them, and right now and for the future.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So
So
thank you so much.
yeah, sorry.
Yes. Okay. Okay. Here. So thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us today. And I'm sure your story will be very, very interesting and impressive for us even right now. It will be interesting to hear for people who are watching us. And of course, thank you so much for just giving this very important insights on how to get into a career, how to build this relationship with people. And of course, I think when you hear a story like that, the only thing that you know that you shouldn't give up, and you should continue trying and trying and trying, for the sake of getting the job that you love, career that you love, and just getting a life that you would enjoy.
I agree. And I would also add to that, you know, these days, just remember to be kind. Kindness goes a long way, and we're all struggling right now in lockdown, and everyone's having bad days. So, kindness is so important, in my opinion, right now.
you
Yes,
know,
that's very
for
true,
sure,
and
for
we all
sure, yeah,
experience it.
yeah, yeah, for
Thank you
sure.
guys. Yeah, I was just going to say thank you so much for having me. It's been lovely. Lovely to chat with you too. And it's great to hear about your careers as well.
It's been a pleasure, and thank you for doing this. I'll just add, the kind of insights that you have and the things that you're given to the audience and to us. I always take a leaf out of that book, and I'll try to, when I'll again listen to that. In particular, I love the thing that when you said that, the meditation thing and that frustrating email
Sorry
kind
about
of
that.
a no problem. The kind of meditation and the frustrated email thing, it really touched me that the kind of things that people can develop and can implement in their personal life and in their corporate and like corporate life. So thank you for doing this. You, in particular, you were the first person who was from a special vertical of media, or from film and television program, and that too in the 10th episode. That's double cool kind of a thing. And so I'll again, it was a pleasure to have you, and thank you so much, Anna.
Aw, thanks so much, guys. Lovely to talk to you.
Have a great evening, and stay connected and stay safe.
You too.
Bye
Thank
bye.
you.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye bye.